Hello everyone. Welcome back or welcome into the channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. I'm Sarah and I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader today. So first of all, I want to mention what is happening with the energies. I was finally ready to post the April to August Magical Months post over on Patreon. It's available to VIP patrons at the moment, and there's a reason that I posted that, guys. There is this energy that's coming through, and even actually where I live, the wind was really rustling and really robust yesterday, and even this morning early. Things were shifting, things were changing, and you probably noticed people were very on edge yesterday. People were mean, people were rude, impolite, and just not very nice to be around. So if you experience any of that, I'm sorry you experienced that. I experienced it as well. So did Holly. So did a lot of our friends. And we just wanted to point that out because things are shifting. And what's happening is the first waivers in the twin flame connections are really shifting really quite rapidly right now. And that's causing a little fluctuation or a lot of fluctuation in the other rowboats, if you will, of the second and third waivers and so on and so forth. So everyone's feeling this shift. There's a major, massive shift right now to detach from the counterpart. Both counterparts are actually feeling this, but I feel it's a little more robust and a little stronger for the divine feminine. So the divine feminine is feeling very independent of the connection. She wants freedom. She wants peace. She wants to be able to move forward with her life. She's tired of sitting still. She's tired of quote unquote waiting. And you guys know that I don't endorse waiting on this journey, but even when it feels like you're not waiting or you're actively trying not to, you still maybe don't have the desire to date or don't have the desire to move forward. Whether you're a male or female DF, it doesn't matter. And so that's going to start to shift here. What we really see coming in is a lot of independence and abundance. I explain what abundance means in this regard over in that post, because abundance isn't your twin flame comes back in. There's a lot more to the abundance equation than just the twin flame coming back. So take a look at that if you feel so called. And also we're getting a lot of inquiries about payment plans for the group that's starting this Saturday. We have an introductory call this Saturday. It's going to be a meet and greet. And then from there, we move into the meat in the really, the real portion of the program. And a lot of you are expressing interest here in these last few days. And so we want to let you know that we still have openings. My website will tell you that everything is unavailable right now, including readings, including the offerings, everything. I still have North Node readings available. Okay. We still have sessions with Holly and I. We still have the Flame Call, Discovery Call, and all the sessions. And then we also still have spots open for the group program. So don't let that deter you. You just have to reach out to me, and the email will be listed below here. Reach out to me and I'll give you a direct payment link through PayPal. So it's very easy, it's very safe, it's very private, and we'll get you signed up. Now, if you need a payment plan, reach out to us and just put payment plan in the subject line and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I am on it this weekend. I'm going to be available all throughout the weekend because we do expect to have some people come in a little late and say, I still want to be a part of the program. It's just what's happening. The energies are shifting right now. So I'm going to be available as much as I can this weekend. Keeping in mind that our first call is scheduled for this Saturday. So keep that in mind. But if you missed that, not a big deal. It's going to be recorded and you can still come in, join the social group, get acquainted with everybody and get into the program, because the support is what's crucial to this journey. So we're still here for you guys. Disregard what the website says. It's gonna be like that for about 6 weeks here, unfortunately. So you'll just have to reach out directly to me. And we want to let you guys know that you're not alone in this journey. And I know things are really funky right now. And so some of you are even asking for emergency sessions. I received a few of those when I woke up this morning. So I would encourage you guys to consider the program. And also, we are going to potentially be offering emergency sessions this weekend. If so, the cost is going to be higher, obviously, because it's an emergency session. We are fully booked. And But if you really feel like you need that, we can definitely offer that. So let's go into the reading. Having said all of that, let's go into the reading for today. And I was actually called not to pull out the messages deck right now, but I was called to pull out the 2 decks here that are going to give us some of the healing information for the twins to see what's going on with each counterpart. Now, I really want you guys to apply this to your inner feminine and your inner masculine, and not just the outer masculine, not just the divine masculine. We need to apply this to the inner divine masculine, not just that physical manifestation of that person that actually resides and exists inside of your own soul. Okay, just disregard whatever they're doing in the physical right now. They'll do crazy things on this journey to try to avoid their own healing in their own light. They'll try to avoid their own shadows. They'll go back into old cycles. They'll go back to old relationships. They will regurgitate, recycle things. They might go back to addictions. You don't want to be a part of that when this is happening, Divine Feminine. So soulmates are coming in, guys. Soulmates are coming in. I can't say that clearly enough. Soulmates are coming in. They may say things or do things that are going to mimic your counterpart, and you're going to be like, what the hell? You're going to be like, what? They may be younger. You may be surprised. You may be swept off your feet a little bit. So I want you guys to just be ready for that. I want you to be as open and receptive as possible to that. Try not to attach, and also try not to... Not only try not to attach, but try not to compare them to the counterpart, okay? Because it's going to be a completely different experience, and that's a good thing. Have fun, guys. Have fun with it. Be lighthearted. Enjoy the attention. Enjoy what you're experiencing, and just go from there. Okay, so the overall energy we have here is Lakshmi. Now, this is coming up in some of my private readings, some of the North Node readings that I'm doing, and Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance. Okay, so when we look at Lakshmi, we think of, a lot of times people think of, okay, what is the material abundance? Like, what does she represent in the material world? But there's a lot more than that. And there's a reason she's coming up, because many of you are like, where's my abundance, Sarah? Trust me, I've gotten some nasty emails that just get deleted. Not only do nasty emails get you deleted, but then they get you blocked from being able to work with us. So it's really not like, guys, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling like you're in a rage and you want to fly off the handle and take it out on someone, don't take it out on me or Holly or any other reader, because it's going to get you blocked from working with them and from receiving the guidance and help that you most likely need. So a lot of shadows coming out right now, a lot of egos at play. But yeah, Lakshmi is here to really teach us about what fortune and abundance really mean. She's also the goddess of beauty, right? So abundance can be in the form of beauty, in the form of joy, in the form of friendship, in the form of love, in the form of luck, in the form of travel, in the form of clients, in the form of I don't know, any number of things that you could consider that would make you feel abundant in this lifetime, right? More abundantly jovial, more abundantly patient, abundantly peaceful. There's so many ways to look at abundance. You have to come out of that idea that abundance only means union with your counterpart. I want you guys, if you're still tuned in here, I want you guys to stay tuned today, because I have 2 very special videos coming over today and tomorrow over the course of the next 2 days. And it's coming from 2 of our amazing clients who we're still very much in touch with, who are also going to be moderating this new group. It's Pam and Heather, and they chose to do video testimonials. And we wanted them to talk about their journey, to share it with you guys. We had a 6-month journey with that group. This is a 4-month journey that will be on with this group. There's a reason for that. And they want to share with you what union really means to them. And I think you're going to be really surprised. And I think it's going to give you a lot of insight into the journey that we go on with you in these groups, as well as what their private journeys were like and why it was so beneficial for them. So stay tuned for those, guys. They're going to be uploaded to the channel. Pam's will be uploaded today, and Heather's will be uploaded probably tomorrow. So we're going to get those to you, and you're going to be able to hear from our clients and hear from people who were a part of this last group. And they're going to talk to you about what it means to be abundant. So when Lakshmi comes, when she appears in a reading, we know that physical beauty is about to shift for the divine feminines. And I know, because I did over on the community tab, I did a questionnaire. I can't think of the right word. What's that word? God, it's freaking spiritual amnesia. It's like, what's that word? I don't remember. I don't know. But anyway, I did a poll. That's the word. Yes, great, Sarah. I did a poll. And the poll told me that a lot of you, not all, but a lot of you are interested in the physical changes, right? Where you see in your face and your body. Many of clients that we've worked with over the past 2 weeks in particular have mentioned the physical changes. So we wanted to mention that to you guys. She is the goddess of Ohas, which is life force energy. Some of you might call that Chi. You hear me calling my Charlie kitty Chi. There's a reason for that. He is the kitty of, he's the vital life force energy. He's like my lifeline. You know, our animals take on those negative energies for us. We also want to be careful that we don't hand over too much of it to them. But yeah, it's that Chi, that life force energy. He's very calming. He's very peaceful. He's very quiet. He's very shy. So she brings in fertility. She brings in physical beauty. So you're going to start to see some of those aging backwards, some of that, you know, that anti-aging kind of component of this journey that up till now we felt like we were aging fast and aging forwards, right? So she is that extra spark, and she makes things beautiful, right? She makes things shiny. She makes things appealing. She makes things feel really good, and she comes to you with blessings of prosperity and abundance. And it's because of all the work that you've put in, Divine Feminine. So she's recognizing that. Again, this could be financial abundance. It could be radiant health, you know, better health for some of us. Thank God, right? We start to feel better. We start to feel better. We start to look better. We start to sleep better. We start to eat better again, right? Because many of us have been not wanting to eat greens, not wanting to eat healthy, wanting to eat junk food, wanting to eat oily foods, or I don't know, Holly and I have been hooked on potato chips and guacamole for months. It's like, what is this, you know? Hooked on carbs. Whether, you know, it makes your home more comfortable or just more warmth. It brings more warmth into your life. Or it could even be for some of you that you get pregnant with this energy. But as you give, she will give back to you. So that's what's really important. Now let's speak for a moment to the Divine Masculine energy. Let's see what comes up. What do we have here, guys? What do we have here? Take a look at that. This is interesting. It's interesting because it's a throat chakra, and we see here this need or willingness to speak truth. Now, this feels more futuristic because right now the Divine Masculines, as I've stated, are kind of in this energy of like, oh, I just want to hide. I've succeeded in getting off this journey. Now, when I say Divine Masculines, by the way, because we have amazing Divine Masculines who watch this channel regularly, I'm speaking of the unhealed Divine Masculine in all of us, okay? I'm speaking of the physical counterpart that's unhealed, that hasn't done the work, that has been unwilling to do the work, that has been avoiding the work in some way. I'm not speaking to the healed Divine Masculine. Healed Divine Masculine will speak their truth. They will speak it loud, they will speak it proud, they will speak it clearly. Now, you know, when we have the true healed Divine Masculine in all of us, because, oh, guys, I've said this before, but if you're new to the channel, I'm going to introduce this concept that a lot of Divine Feminines have actually been in distorted masculine energy for a long, long time. And that looks like being angry, being ungrounded. It looks like being greedy when it comes to physical comforts, right? Creature comforts. It looks like trying to control situations, trying to control outcomes, trying to control the connection, trying to control yourself, trying to control everything around you. It looks like abusing power. It looks like not being flexible. Okay, this is a distorted masculine. Those are just some examples. There are many more out there. And so the feminine goes into that place where she's not pliable. She's like, I'm not going to open my heart. I'm going to close off my heart and the chambers of my heart. And I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to take care of myself, and I'm not going to rely on anyone or anything. She becomes cold. She becomes closed off and detached. And she's not able to step into her feminine essence, which is receiving, which then allows in the abundance. So it's important for all of us to mend and heal both the Divine Masculine within us and the Divine Feminine within us. Your counterpart is a catalyst. They're a catalyst for growth and change. At the core of the journey, that's what this is. It's not the notebook. It's not whatever you're going to Google that's going to tell you that everything is going to be, oh my God, it's going to all come together beautifully and seamlessly and everything's going to be amazing. No, that's not the twin flame journey. That's a romanticized version of it. And I realize that that's highly triggering if you're new to this journey or if you've just met your twin and you might be in that honeymoon stage. But that's just not what this is about. That's not what we're here for. I want to make that really clear because this is the truth of the journey. This is the meat and the nitty gritty of the journey. And it's not, physical union is that's not what makes ascension possible. That's not what completes your ascension journey. It's not what grows you. You can do so much more in the 5D right now, especially when the masculine energy at large is acting up. Okay, they've just taken a huge hit, a huge fall, so the ego comes back online and they're acting up, they're acting out. Many of them are in a place where they're not going to be very nice if you reach out, or they're going to simply ignore you altogether. And then the feminine gets triggered, and then she gets, and there's a reason for that. If you reach out and your counterpart does not respond and you get triggered, you're being triggered to heal, codependency, reliance, rejection. And I want you to look at that as an opportunity to heal rather than rejection. I want you to look at that in a more positive light. You're also being protected. You're wrapped up in this divine light of protection where this counterpart cannot get to you at this time. There's a good reason for that. You don't want them in this form. Guys, trust me, you don't want the drama. You don't want them in this form. You don't want them coming in and being unhealed and causing you all sorts of hurt and pain. You don't want that, because you're going to get to the point, guys, where it's going to be so painful that you're going to walk away for good. And that can happen. You can choose to walk away. You have free will. You could choose, you know what, I'm done, I can't, that was too much. You crossed the line. Do you really want that to happen? Or can you be patient and allow this to happen more naturally and allow this to progress in a way that's going to be a lot healthier for both counterparts? Your counterpart needs to speak truth to themselves first and foremost. The divine masculine within all of us needs to speak more truth. Now, when these soulmates come in, okay, they're going to come in quite passionately. Where are your boundaries? Where are the boundaries? Okay, the boundaries. There's going to be a sexual undertone to a lot of these soulmates that come in. They're highly attracted to you. They're magnetized to you. They're magnetized to your energy. But a lot of the masculines, if they're still in distortion, which many are going to regard that as, sex equals love. And it's like, no, let's slow down the roll. Have your healthy boundaries up, whatever those are for you, and decide the pace that you want to take that connection, because they're going to want to take it really fast, okay? They're going to want to take it really fast. They're very attracted to the feminine. You're very alluring right now. You're starting to age backward. You're going to get, again, younger energies coming in. If you're a feminine, you're going to get younger masculines coming in. It's the ones that were attending that pool party, guys, and they're hot. They're hot. So you have those boundaries up is what I'm saying, ladies. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Milky Way perspective. Okay, this is about zooming out and gaining that perspective. What is this journey truly about? Is it about physical union? Is it about what your counterpart's doing over there? Is it about the karmic? No. Like those readings that, there's readers that constantly only focus on the karmic. I'll do a reading here and there talking about the karmic, yes. But to focus solely on that is, especially when they're nasty, that's just detrimental. And it brings in, depending on the reader, it can bring in that just negative energy. It's bringing in energy that you don't really want. And if you don't want that on your journey, don't focus on it, guys. What we focus on expands. Don't focus on what you don't want to see, what you don't want to experience. You're constantly talking about the karmic or thinking about the karmic or looking up the karmic's name or any of that. You're just creating more expansion for what you don't want to continue expanding. So you can see more. The universe is like, oh, she wants to see more of this. So they're going to deliver more of that. gain a clearer perspective. Zoom yourself out as much as you need to, especially right now. I know, look, you're going to feel like kind of like you're in crazy town this weekend, guys. This is the energy. There's again, the winds were rustling here all day yesterday. It was a very unsettled feeling. People were generally rude. People were generally very much in their own little anger bubble yesterday. They were lashing out at the wrong person, taking things out on the wrong people, and probably feeling, apologetic today. But, one thing about being a divine feminine is we're givers, okay? And we also know when to draw the line. So you have to know when to put that line up and say, you know what? I'm not allowing this energy into my space, period. Not but, not comma, but, just period, end of story. Gain that higher perspective so you understand, guys, especially those of you maybe just finding out you're on this journey, like, oh my God, what is this? Because some of you are going to feel a little, it might feel a little heavy this weekend. It might sort of feel like it might feel like you're trying to come up for air, trying to find a way to sort of take that deep breath is kind of what I'm getting. It's going to feel slightly overwhelming this weekend, or very overwhelming. Also, what is it that you're trying to deny or suppress? What is it? If you're suppressing tears, they're going to come up. I cried most yesterday, like all day. Tried to put this clothing rack together. So I don't have a closet in my room, which is funny. It's considered a master bedroom. I don't have a closet in there. And so I had to buy a clothing rack, and I bought it off Etsy, and it's beautiful. It's wood, it's beautiful. But you need like a drill, and I didn't have a drill. And I was trying to, with my hurt shoulder, I was trying to screw in these damn screws, and they were going in sideways. And I was like, fuck. And then the thing fell over on me, and I was like, all right, I'm done. So I had to hire someone, but in the midst of it, I was like, I'm so alone, oh, poor me. And like cried and cried and cried. And then I just hired a dude. Actually, I had someone offer to come over. Someone who's just come into my space offered to come over and do it for me. And I thought that was really cute, but I had already hired somebody. So I hired a handyman to come over, and he's going to do it. And it'll probably take him like 2 minutes. But now I know it wasn't user error. It was the clothing rack, but I digress. The tears flew. The tears were coming out, and I just let them come. There were tears for the counterpart. There was some longing. There were tears for, the loneliness. There were tears for everything that comes up on this journey. The longing will come and go, guys. There will be phases where it's very intense. There will be phases where it's like, I can't stand that person. It comes and goes. And we have to know that we're not bipolar. Obviously, you guys know that I value and regard mental health very highly. So for anyone who is diagnosed as bipolar, that was by no means meant to be an attack or negative. But I know a lot of people think like, I think I'm undiagnosed bipolar on this journey because of the ups and the downs. It's a very real serious illness. I have 2 cousins that actually have it. So I take it very seriously. Very, very seriously. And also a lot of people are wanting to go home at this time. Just like, I just want off this planet. So you guys know that I'm all about suicide awareness. So if you guys are feeling that way, please call a suicide hotline. If you don't want to call, there's a suicide text line for most countries. Please reach out to somebody. And oftentimes it's much easier to reach out to someone you don't know, because you feel like, I'm not going to be judged, and I can just be myself, and I can say what I need to say. Sometimes friends and family don't know how to handle that feeling, but I've actually texted those hotlines before at various times in my life and found it super helpful. It just felt like a nice warm bath on a really cold day, and I felt very comforted. They said all the right things, and I felt immensely better afterwards. So I'm such a proponent of mental health awareness, suicide awareness. On this journey, if you're a starseed or a light worker, you can often feel like you just want to go home. Please seek help, and know that you're not alone. Know that you're not crazy. And I actually have a theory that a lot of us on this journey are probably autistic to some degree, or especially if you consider yourself a starseed and you feel like an alien on this planet. And I also feel like what we label mental health disorders is actually it's not a disorder. It's, you're on this fucked up planet and you're trying to survive. And I think those are the most brilliant, gifted people in the entire universe. And they come here with, in physical disabilities as well, they come here with gifts, with teachings, with lessons, with, like, if you'll just listen. We have so much to learn from others who are labeled as different. And guys, this is coming from someone who's felt different her entire life. And so, and I actually feel more and more just separate from society, more and more different as 2022 goes on in particular. And I know some of you are feeling that way. And you guys know I'm going to be real and raw and honest with you. That's who I am. Yeah, I label these twin flame readings, but it's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. And I'm really feeling the call to expand out into the ascension journey in general. So if you guys are like, I don't know if I don't know if I'm a twin flame, but I'm on this ascension journey, please reach out to us. We want to work with you. We want to help you. And we are going to be launching a separate course. I'm not sure of the exact time yet, but we're going to, probably this summer, we're going to be launching a separate course for those on the ascension journey who want assistance with everything ascension related, ascension symptoms, ascension sickness, all of these feelings of wanting to go, the feeling of being an alien, why this happened, what this means, how to handle it, how to work with these energies, and how to survive on this earth as things shift and change more and more and faster and faster. Bring up these shadow aspects, guys. Bring up the shadow aspects. Seek the help that you need. Try not to submerge or pretend like they're not there, because they're going to come back up. They're going to be regurgitated in a much more, like, I almost want to say, like, violent way. Like, they're going to come up much harsher than they would have if you just deal with them on your own. It's going to be like an ego death or a dark night of the soul. You don't want that dark night of the soul. God knows we've gone through enough. So allow them to come up and deal with them and face those shadows. Okay, face whatever has been submerged. I think a lot of tears are going to come up this weekend for a lot of people. Maybe my words just now were really triggering to some of you, and it's going to trigger to heal. Maybe you really resonate with what I said, of feeling like an alien and feeling different and feeling like you don't belong, feeling like you went off this planet. I really want to make it clear that we need to come together. We need to band together, and there is help, and there are people who understand, and you're not alone, and we can do this. We're strong. We came here to do what we're doing, so don't back down now, guys. We're closer than ever before. We are so close to the finish line. All right, let's get a card for the Divine Masculine energy. Interesting. This came up, I think, like 2 days ago. I did a reading that came up. So we have movement for the Divine Masculine. I am not surprised to see that. It's kind of like an Eight of Wands energy. There's definitely the desire to move. There's a desire to shift out of wherever they've been. Right now, it's kind of more of a thought than anything. So in regards to your inner masculine, like, where is it that you want to make changes or moves, and maybe you're holding back? Maybe out of what, fear? Don't overthink it, guys. A lot of feminines are going to be on the move this year. I've been talking about that for months. You know, I moved, Holly moved. We have clients that have moved or left jobs, you know, their movement in different ways. So let that inner divine masculine energy come out and trust that you're going to be taken care of. Trust that you're going to be okay. That's hard, I know. It's hard. So the divine masculine is what needs to move, okay, is forgiveness. He needs to move through forgiveness. Yeah, he's a little pissed off right now, and he's having a hard time forgiving himself. So he's like a little bit of the victim, a lot of the victim mentality of like, well, he could never forgive me because of look at everything I've done. And then just being like, well, I'm just going to walk away because that's easier. It says, I'm not sure I can forgive you or myself. So it's about understanding, and then from there we get to compassion, and then from compassion, forgiveness is a small leap from there. The unforgiven and the unhealed cannot exist in a union, so truly forgive. Yeah, so the masculine energy in all of us has to work on forgiveness at this time, or let's say gets to work on. We don't have to do anything, but we get to work on forgiveness at this time, because if we don't, we're going to end up pretty miserable. Now, it doesn't mean you have to, people say, well, I'm never going to forget. That's up to you. Doesn't mean you have to go back to that person. It doesn't mean you have to accept that behavior in the future. It just means you're choosing to free yourself of that mental energy, that mental imprisonment that keeps you in that space of being angry, being upset over what has transpired between you and your counterpart. Divine Feminine. You're thinking of union and you're wondering what that means. Now, some of you, most of you aren't in this space, but some of you are in the space of thinking that union has to be physical union with your counterpart. That's the only one that matters. Trust me, you're gonna be in for a very rude awakening on this journey, because that's not what this is about. That physical union is the icing on the cake. It's the cherry on top. But you have to have the foundation to get to that cherry on top, the icing, right? You have to first have the cake. You have to have the layers. So this is about you realizing that you have to create inner union first. You have to become whole within yourself, pull in those divine feminine, divine masculine parts, and realize that you're already in union with yourself. You're already fully whole within yourself, not seeking anything from that external masculine. It says, I love fully and unconditionally from every chakra, through my physical and etheric bodies, and throughout all dimensions. There is nothing missing. I am already whole. And so it is. So while the masculine energy works on forgiveness, the feminine energy is here working on what unity means. Like, what does unity mean? How can I benefit from understanding that on a deeper level? How can I get to a place of peace on this journey when my counterpart's over there with a karmic, or my counterpart's over there and they're lying, or they're ignoring me, or they're blocking me? Well, it comes back to being okay with self. Look at yourself. Be willing to look at yourself and what it is that you might be hiding. Be willing to have a different perspective. Be willing to move those things that are ready to be moved within you. And if you need help, you seek the help that you need. And I think I'm going to end there. I know this was only a few cards today, but there was a lot to say. There was a lot that I wanted to say because there's so much being moved. And it was more important to talk about the energies. So sending you guys loads of love this weekend. Again, the website, for those of you just tuning in, the website will tell you that everything is unavailable. You can't purchase anything. You can purchase North Node readings from me directly. You can purchase spots in the group. There are still spots available in the group. You can purchase discovery calls, flame calls, twin flame checks, and also those 3 healing sessions with Holly and myself. So if you look at the website and you see that it's not available, please reach out to me by email directly. I can send you a payment link. We'll get you set up and scheduled as soon as possible. The first call is this weekend, is this Saturday. It's the meet and greet for the group. So if you're worried about, like, I'm still on the fence, guys, things are shifting. That's all I'm going to say. Things are shifting this weekend. So you're probably going to be doing a lot of that back and forth, back and forth. Some of you are going to be feeling sort of like there might be a lot of anxiety this weekend. So just keep that in mind. Keep yourself stabilized. Keep yourselves grounded. And we're here to support you. Send you lots of love. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.